In light of the fact that the Bible claims repeatedly that Jesus was both good and God, as we have discussed in other videos, some contend that in Mark 10:18, Jesus said just the opposite. In an article titled New Testament Contradictions, Paul Carlson listed Mark 10:18, among other passages, as being an embarrassment to the church, as it allegedly indicates Jesus did not consider himself sinless. By Jesus saying to the rich young ruler, "Why do you call me good? No one is good but one, that is God," skeptic Dennis McKenzie said that Jesus is not only admitting that he is not perfectly moral, but that he is not God. Does Jesus actually admit not being good and God in Mark 10:18? Did he deny being perfectly moral as well as divine? Before answering this question, one must keep in mind that Jesus often responded to questions in unexpected, masterful ways. He offered thought-provoking, soul-searching answers, often in the form of questions that, unfortunately, many people have misinterpreted. Do you think the confident, commandment-keeping rich young ruler ever thought that Jesus would instruct him to sell whatever he had and give it to the poor? To leave everything and follow Jesus? Surely not. Yet that's exactly what Jesus said to him. "One thing you lack. Go your way, sell whatever you have, and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. And come, take up the cross and follow me." No doubt, this man was quite shocked by Jesus' instructions. Likewise, when the young ruler initially came to Jesus saying, "Good teacher, what shall I do that I may inherit eternal life?" he never expected Jesus to say, "Why do you call me good? No one is good but one, that is God." The young man seems to have regarded himself as good since he professed to have kept all of the commandments that Jesus mentioned. Perhaps the gentleman simply wanted to know from one good man to another good man, a good teacher, what do I need to do to inherit eternal life? However, rather than immediately answer the young man's question, it seems Jesus first wanted to humble him by highlighting that the young man was not as good as he considered himself to be, and also for him to realize who exactly he was questioning. He wasn't merely petitioning a good man. The Bible records various mere human beings who were called good. Luke recorded that Barnabas was a good man. Paul indicated that Christians are to do good to all. Are Christians who do good Christians? Even Jesus stated previous to his encounter with a rich young ruler that a good man out of the good treasure of his heart brings forth good things. Thus, clearly, when Jesus spoke to the wealthy ruler, he was not using good in the sense of a man being able to be good. Rather, he was using it in the sense of God being absolutely, supremely good. The kind of goodness to which he was referring belonged only to God. The only way man can objectively call someone good is if there is an ultimate standard for goodness, the supreme, unblemished, good God. Jesus never said what skeptics and various Bible critics allege he said, that he was not good or that he was not God. Instead, Jesus attempted to get the rich young ruler to see the implications of calling him good teacher. Do good, merely human teachers claim to be the Messiah? Do good men accept worship and honor due only to God? Do good men claim to have the power to forgive sins as Jesus did? Absolutely not. But Jesus had the power to forgive sins. He actually claimed to be the Messiah and accepted worship. So what was Jesus implying when he asked the young ruler, "Why do you call me good? No one is good but one, that is God." I submit to you that he was implying the exact opposite of what skeptics suggest. In essence, Jesus was saying, if you're calling me good, then you must come to realize that I'm also God. Because if not, I'm merely a man, a bad man who's lying about being the heaven-sent, sin-solving Messiah. I believe more people would have a better understanding of this passage as it relates to the nature of Christ if they pondered on it in its totality. That is, to better understand what Jesus first said to the covetous rich young ruler in Mark 10:18, Consider what he said at the end in verse 21. Go your way, sell whatever you have, and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. And come, take up the cross, be willing to suffer for my sake, for Jesus' sake, and follow me. Who says that kind of thing? Has anyone ever said this to you? If someone walked up to me today and said, Eric, sell your house and everything you own, follow me, and be willing to suffer for my sake, I might ask, among other things, who are you and by what authority do you say such a thing? Why would you expect anyone, including me, to give up everything and follow you? Friends, no mere man, no good man in his right mind would ever say and expect such a thing. However, God, the creator of physical life and the giver of eternal life, the treasures of heaven, has every right to command such. I submit to you that Jesus' command to the rich young ruler strongly implies something about his unique nature. That he was not merely a good man, but that he was and is God, who is innately and supremely good. To contend that Mark 10:18 proves that Jesus thought himself to be neither morally perfect nor God is, one, to disregard the overall context of the Bible, two, to twist the Scriptures like untaught and unstable people do to their own destruction, and three, to take a superficial reading of the text. Far from denying the deity of Christ, Mark 10 verses 17 through 22 actually affirm it. If you would like to learn more about the greatness and godhood of Jesus, be sure to visit us at apologeticspress.org.